What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Fearless Fly 100, and I appreciate everybody watching. In the past few videos, I've been talking about getting my Class A commercial permit in order to get my license to drive a truck over the road. Well, the company that I'm planning to drive for is located out of Springfield, Missouri. Okay, Springfield, Missouri, which is only about 750 miles from where I am currently located, right here. So I've got to find a way in order to get to where I need to, 750 miles away up in Springfield, Missouri. So that's what that video is going to be about my means of transportation, hint, 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 on how I am going to get to Springfield, Missouri. So let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think that my means of transportation back there is going to make it to Springfield, Missouri? Drop your comments down and below and let me know if it's going to make it or not. Let me introduce you to my means of transportation. So this is my 1983 Ford F150 extended cab, long bed, pickup. Yep, it's been around for a little bit. With me, I've had it for about 25, 26 years, going on 27 maybe. I got it in 1997 is when I purchased this truck. And from all information that I have gathered, I'm only the second owner of this truck. Yes, I'm only the second owner of this 1983 Ford F150 pickup. Now, if you look at it, it doesn't look like much, and I've been doing a little bit of work to it here recently because of what's up and coming. Now, this truck has been sitting for a couple of years, not here in this spot, but between here and the previous location where I used to live at. It hasn't ran in a couple of years, I'll just put it to you that way. So I'm putting it all together and getting it all fixed up and getting it ready to go to Springfield, Missouri, and to travel 750 miles. Now, put it down in the comments. Let me know what you think down in the comments about driving this truck 750 miles to Springfield, Missouri. Do you think it'll make it? Do you think something will happen? We'll find out along the way. Let me show you what's up under the hood of this thing also. I've been doing a little bit of work, like I said. Under the hood, it's got the ever popular inline 6 in it. That's right, it's got the inline 6, not a V8, not the 302, not the 351, nothing like that. And this one here, oh, you might be saying, oh, it's a 4.9. Well, no, not necessarily. Not after what I did to it after I bought the truck. But anyways, yeah, this is what we're dealing with, and we're going to put together and attempt to drive 750 miles to Springfield, Missouri. Now, I've already done a whole bunch of things to it. I've already, just for a few little things, these weather stripping pieces right here, I have already replaced on both doors because they were missing. They were totally missing. They were non-existent, and the glass would rattle and everything else. So I replaced both of that on both of the doors. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is replace the seals for the door. As you can see, the seal is no good, so I got a new seal for around the door. I already did everything to that door over there that I would like to do, and then I'm gonna finish putting this thing together and getting it to run. And then once I get it running and everything, we're gonna start taking stuff from here and going to put it in my storage unit. And then I'm gonna get more into detail about everything, as well as storage units, and a little bit more explanation about this into what's all taking place. So yeah, I've also been working on the back end of this truck too. It's got 2 fuel tanks on it, so I took both of the fuel tanks out of it and cleaned both of them out. Well, the front tank already had a new fuel sending unit. The back tank, I cleaned it out really good and put a new sending unit in it. That way, hopefully I can tell how much fuel that this truck has whenever I'm driving. So let's take a look about what's going on inside the house as well. As you can see, inside the house, don't have very much left. So, and also what I have left inside It's just a few boxes and stuff that is still left here as well. So we're moving out. I still got my bed in there and not very much left in the house. So I got all this stuff left to move out, as well as things outside. And I'm packing up everything and putting it up in storage. And not going to be living here much longer in my next couple of days. So that's another thing that's been going on. Oh, here's the exhaust parts. I got to put those exhaust parts on the 83. So yeah, that's what we're up to on that part. Alrighty, now we've got another battery in here. I got the line off coming from the fuel pump, so that way I can get fuel up here to the carburetor and then get all the air out of the lines and then put it up to the carburetor. So we got all that. Got fuel in the fuel tank? Who cares? We don't need a fuel tank. All systems go. Let's see what happens. Now I don't want to crank this thing too long because the starter, I mean, it's a decent sized starter, and it I've cranked it a long time before, and it gets kind of warm, but let's see what's going to do here. Yeah, it takes a little while. The tank, the front tank was empty, and so I'm hoping that we can. Hoping that this fuel pump works on this truck and I was able to pump some fuel. It was pumping some fuel a little while ago, but well, looks like I may have to divert to squirt bottle. Let me check. Okay, so now we got fuel up to this line. I had to squirt a little bit of carb cleaner in it to get her to run and all that. We got fuel in the fuel pump, so now it's time to get the bowl filled up with fuel as well. So after messing with the truck, I found out that that metal line was all clogged up from just sitting around open like it was. So I had to blow it out, put her back together, and finally got the fuel flowing to the carburetor. And after all that said and done, I got fuel to the carburetor and got it going. So that was Tuesday night. As you can tell, it was nighttime when I got the truck running and everything. I didn't let it run very long. You know, I just wanted to see if it'll run on its own and everything. But then Wednesday, I went out early in the morning and I started the truck up, and I had the hood open and everything, and I was letting it get up to operating temperature. And there was a few things that happened, and there was a few things that didn't happen. Let me tell you the rest of the story that took place with my 83 F150. So you may be wondering, how did everything work out? How did everything take place with the 83 F150? Well, as Paul Harvey would say, here's the rest of the story. So I got the 83 F150 up and running, and it was running pretty good. Sounded like a good running truck. You know, I put the exhaust on it and did a whole bunch of work to it and everything. Once I got it up to operating temperature, I looked under the hood and noticed the radiator had sprung a leak. Yeah, radiator had sprung a leak on it. And so I was like, you know what? I think I got the radiator from O'Reilly's. Let me call O'Reilly's and see what they come up with. And sure enough, I had a radiator with them, and they say they could swap it out, no charge, this, that, and the other. I was like, well, let me see how the rest of the truck does. I mean, it's been sitting for 2 years and, you know, hadn't moved very much. So I go and drive the truck around and everything. It goes shifts first, and then it went in shift to third. It acted like it went into neutral.
Whoa!
Yes. It only had first and second gears. It had reverse also, but it only had first and second gears. Yeah, if it wasn't one thing, it's another. So I figured, well, it's been sitting for a while. The transmission hasn't, operated in a while, and things may not be working like it should. And so I kept driving it around and everything. And finally, it was getting towards the end of the day on Wednesday. Well, kind of midday on Wednesday, and I was just getting frustrated. I was still moving stuff from my house to the storage unit and things of that nature. And I had a phone call that happened, and it was a buddy of mine. His name is Kyle. He called me up and said, "Hey man, is everything okay? How's it going? How's the move?" Because my plan was to go from where I'm at down in Jordanton up to Joplin and go visit Kyle and his wife up there for a few days before I head to Springfield. He called me up just to find out how everything is going, because they're really excited for me to visit as well. I was like, man, things ain't going right, this, that, and the other. I was telling him a little bit about what's going on. I still got a whole bunch of stuff to pack up. And so he's like, dude, what would you say if I came down to your place and was there at your house tomorrow morning? I was like, do whatever you want to do, man. I'm not going to I'm not going to twist your arm or this, that, and the other. And however you do it, that's fine. If not, it's okay. So he's like, well, let me talk to my wife. And sure enough, an hour later after he called me, he's like, dude, I'm on my way. I'm like, okay, I believe it when I see it. So the next day, and this is after I've all been hot and sweaty and frustrated and stressed out and everything. And next day, 7:30 in the morning, sure enough, boom, he pops up at my house. Like, okay, what do we need to do? All the way from Joplin, Missouri. Can you believe that? Yeah. So we pretty much Thursday tag team everything. I used the F150, my 83 F150. It started working a little bit better with the transmission and everything. We used it to haul some stuff, or haul the rest of the stuff, like the four-wheelers and everything outside, to the storage unit, which is only, about 3 miles down the road from where I'm at. I even hooked up a trailer to the truck to haul the four-wheelers and used it to do all that. I mean, using it all day long, every day, running around and things of that nature, seeing, how the truck would do. And I finally told Kyle, I was like, look, dude, this truck, it may work, excuse me, it may work, it may not work. I don't feel comfortable right now taking this truck up to Missouri, And he's like, no problem, dude, no problem, I got you. Just like that. He's like, no problem, we'll pack up all your stuff that you want to take with you to Missouri, and we'll head to Missouri from here. We'll go in my truck and I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. And that just hit me here in my chest. As you can see, I'm a little bit emotional about it still. And that's what we did. After we packed up everything, I took both of my trucks to another friend's house who graciously let me keep my trucks at his place too. And we left them at his place in a different location as well. We left the 95 GMC at his place, as well as the 83 F150. Even though the 83 F150 came around a little bit and started working like it should, I could shift it manually and it'd go through all of the gears and everything. I could feel also, because the truck had been sitting for a while, that the tires had some, they weren't perfectly round. Like when you're using them, you ride smooth and everything. You could tell it's been sitting, had some flat spots on them. You can feel a little bit of vibration to it there. And I was like, I really don't feel too comfortable. So we left it with some stuff and everything. I'll probably use it to drive around down when I'm back home and stuff like that, just for short trips and things of that nature. So that's how everything went. And by the time we were all said and done, loading up everything, it was about 6 o'clock in the evening. By the time we got everything taken care of and out of the house, off the property and everything, packed up and put in the storage, And then we took off from there, 6 o'clock in the evening. And then we went up 35 towards Belton. Belton, we stayed at a hotel overnight. It was called the Knights Inn. It was only $50 a night. So what can you expect for $50 a night when you're only gonna stay one night? That's all I gotta say about about this hotel in Belton, because it was not anywhere near the Ritz-Carlton. I'll put it to you that way. I may have stayed in a few worse ones than this one, but I've stayed in a whole lot better places than where we stayed. But we were dog tired, and it didn't matter. As long as we have a place to sleep and take a shower, that's all that mattered, right? So from Belton, we left out Friday morning about 7:30, drove up to Dallas. We timed it to where we wouldn't go through Dallas through morning rush hour and not through lunchtime. And then we timed it pretty good because there was some stop and go portions of traffic, and we made it through just fine. And then we continued through Oklahoma and then up to Missouri, and we made it to Joplin, Missouri at about 2:30, 3 o'clock thereabouts after leaving. And then a fuel stop or two in between and things of that nature. So, and one, I got to tell you all this story real quick. When we were in Dallas, there was a guy that was in front of us with his Mercury Cougar, like a 90s model Mercury Cougar. It looked like he was working on it. It's kind of primered. It's fixed up okay. He goes to try to take off and get in front of us because he was in the right-hand lane. He wanted to get in front of us and go. And he was going, and all of a sudden we see a bunch, you could hear him rev up the engine. We see a bunch of smoke come out from underneath the car. And we're like, uh-oh. What did he do? Blow a motor? Apparently something happened under the hood where he lost a hose, or there was a coolant leak, because when he did that, there was white smoke, and then we got coolant all over the front of our truck that because we were behind him a little ways, but still everything just got splashed up against the windshield of the truck, and you could see him just pull over to the side, and we're like, I think he's got some issues there with that car. So hopefully everything worked out for him and everything's okay with him. So we made it to Joplin. That was Friday, and I stayed in Joplin with Kyle and his wife on his property Friday night, Saturday. Spent the day with them Saturday, and then Sunday we finally made it here. I finally made it here to Springfield. He brought me over here to Springfield as well to drop me off here at the Campus Inn, and I'm going to tell y'all more about where I'm at here in the next video. So that's how my journey went from Jordanton to here to Springfield, Missouri. If y'all get any questions, concerns, complaints, as always, put them down on the bottom. Thank everybody for watching, and I look forward to hearing from everybody, and I can't wait to see y'all on the next video.